My dudes, today I want to talk about distractions versus productivity. Like these days, it's so easy to just consume. It's so easy to just pop on Netflix and get wrapped up in a new anime or get wrapped up in a new TV series or even an old series that's got like 6 seasons and just binge it. And before you know it, you look up and you're like, I didn't work at all. I didn't draw. I didn't create anything at all. Where the hell did my life go, right? You can see very clearly how this entertainment can be so good and so immersive that artwork or creating just kind of gets pushed to the sidelines. And it's like, how does anybody these days switch all of that off? I mean, I have my own strategies for keeping productive, but with so much boundless amounts of incredible entertainment. Don't get me wrong, some of the newer stuff is absolute garbage, but there's also years and years of incredibly high quality content that's been created. And there's artists doing amazing things in video games, in animation, in entertainment that's so cheap and affordable that we're bombarded with it constantly. How does anybody stay focused? How does anybody put all that aside and go, nah, I'm just going to be like focused in on my designing my comic panels or whatever it is. And like, if this is something that you struggle with, please do let me know, because I find myself sometimes feeling that I'd much rather be just playing a game. And sometimes, especially in this era when it feels like, God, is art even valued anymore? We're looking at AI, and this is the disheartening thing. It's like, I wonder how will the new generation of artists that are coming in value art at all, and the work that goes into creating something that used to be like, it used to be that with comic book artists, for example, the rock stars were the guys who spent like 12 to 20 hours on each page. And some of you out there do this. I know this. I know because I know some pro artists, comic book artists, still working in American comics that will spend 15 to 20 hours on one page. And I used to do that just with the pencils when I was working on Ghostwriter, because that was the thing. If you could put that much commitment and care into your pages, the audience noticed and recognized it because that was way higher value. They felt that value because the artists put the care and the time into every panel, every page, every, leather strap, every chain on that Spawn chain or whatever. Like it was the standard that you could easily quantify and say, oh, I can beat that by just putting more time and care into my page, which this is going to branch off into other conversational topics if I'm not careful, because that doesn't necessarily make a better comic, but there was a quantifiable thing that you could look at in the art and go, oh, well, this person puts more care into their art because they spend more time with it. That's gone now. How can anybody who's a consumer of all of this great entertainment stop to take the time to ask themselves the questions I just asked myself about why this simple thing is great? Why this thing that isn't more detailed or have piles and piles of more care and effort and time poured into each panel, why is that of higher value, for example, than something that just has loads and loads and loads of time and detail and care put into it, but might have been also generated 50% by AI or computer? Like, how as artists can we stay focused on doing the best that we can? I think part of it is part of what I'm talking about in this whole video, which is that appreciation to analyze and like go, well, why is this really great? Not because it has more time poured into it. Sometimes the simplest thing can have the most impact because it's less rambly, it's less diluted with all of the other stuff. It's focused and it's concise, it's to the point. One of the tricks that I do to just keep myself focused and productive, and I talked about it in a recent video where, I bought an iPad so that I could draw everywhere I go and replace my portable gaming with portable drawing and productivity. That's like one thing, right? So like I've talked about this with learning piano. It's like I put my piano in a place where I have to walk by it every day. If I'm working out or I'm trying to lose weight, I put my scale somewhere where I have to see it every single day. I put the thing in front of me that's like an obstacle between the enjoyment of stuff. And I put that right in between so that I can't just go around it or ignore it. It's like I have to focus on and think about that thing. I'll put notes all over my monitor, to like remind myself, hey, stay focused on the big goal that you're trying to get, because that's going to be the bigger dopamine rush, so to speak. That's going to be bring you the greater satisfaction and joy. Like, we don't actually feel great when we've spent a whole week just playing a video game, like Minecraft or something, and then we have nothing to show for it, Well, I think people try to. They go, oh, look, I rebuilt the Enterprise in Minecraft or whatever. We try to give value to it by saying, look, I made something creative with this thing, right? But the second thing that I do is I try to delay the enjoyable thing until after I've sort of earned it. And this requires a lot of self-discipline at times. And certainly like that is kind of what this video is about. But I try to tell myself, like, I don't get to just play video games until Saturday, or I don't get to just play video games or that game, even though I'm super stoked to like, they just did the Days Gone remaster with a, PS5 update. So it has like greater frame rate and better lighting, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, okay, I love it, but I can't let myself play it until after I've done my solid 8 hours. So I try to designate specific hours of the day to say, those are my hours where I have to work, whether I'm productive or not. Even if I'm just watching videos on YouTube about Days Gone or the music from the game or something, like while I'm being productive, try everything I can to go, not right now. This is also true with things like podcasts or the entertainment we might have on while we're painting. Like right now, I know a lot of people tune into my channel while they're drawing, and that's not a bad thing because I'm given, stuff that is relevant to like the mindset of drawing, and that might be something you might choose to adopt, or it might help you to like push through or structure a kind of a schedule or a day for yourself even. So that's not a bad way to sort of like have a supplementary distraction that isn't really a distraction. You can just listening to, a gaming podcast might not necessarily be the most productive, but it could stimulate your creative brain. It could make you go like, oh, wow, it's interesting that this kind of new genre of game is popping up right now. And so like you can have these sort of audio things going on, but too much visual stimulation could just pull you right in. And so like there were certain shows, like for example, The Expanse. I can't draw while I'm watching The Expanse. No, do not try that because it requires so much of your focused attention. Or like the Dune movies, like they're so visually stunning and so involved and engrossing that like it's so hard to draw or be creative while you're watching that for the first time. If it's your second time watching it, like a thing I like to do is rewatch movies. I love to put on the Alien series of movies, like from all the way back in the 70s. Like they're insanely beautiful and gorgeous. And like, if you've never seen them, don't try to be creative or draw while you're watching them. But if you've seen them before and you're watching for the second, third, fifth, or 50th or 150th time, like it's great background. You know what I'm saying? Great music, great acting, great scenarios, great scenes, cool action moments that you can like, you'd be drawing away and then, oh man, that's that awesome scene, like that kind of stuff, especially movies from the 80s that were like the best. Anyway, so trying to just pick entertainment that isn't going to be like, it'll be stimulating, but not so distracting. Another one of my favorites is Big Trouble in Little China. Love that. Army of Darkness. Like these are movies that if you've never seen them, watch them once, give them your full attention, but after you've watched them, it's like good background movies. I should do like a series on like, what are some good background movies while you're drawing that just have great soundtracks, great acting, great moments, but not so distracting that it's going to like suck you in and you gotta like, like put your work down. No, you don't want that. You want like podcasts are great for that, I think. And I won't recommend any specific podcast. Just watch my channel. No, I don't know. I did do a Twilight Month podcast a little while back. You could listen to that. It's all audio only, mostly. There's some art in there. Anyway, what are your solutions? If you guys have any ideas on like how you stay focused and how do you tune out distractions, or how do you manage that balance between consuming and creating? I feel like it's so important for us as creators to constantly keep our enthusiasm and hype for creation and never let that diminish. And this is one of those things where it's like, what a gluttony of riches, to have so much great entertainment that's my problem. How do I focus past all of these incredible video games that are coming out right now that I'll never get to play? that's tough. If you have solutions, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. This was also on my mind a lot as we were developing the Twilight Monk game. It's like, I didn't want to make a game that's going to consume you for 200 hours. Like Twilight Monk is a, 12-hour game. If you're really fast at games, it's like 20 hours at most if you're trying to get 100% and really max it out. But like, it's built to be something that you could sit down and play for like 30 minutes at the end of your day, but not necessarily something that's going to be all consuming. And I feel like that's the kind of game that appeals to me. When I look at like my game list, I look for something that's like short and sweet, but like has a lot of impact and makes me want to draw. And like, that's the kind of game that I wanted to make with Twilight Monk. So anyway, yes, please check out Twilight Monk. It's out on Steam and it's also out on Nintendo Switch. And I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. It's always a pleasure. Please do leave your comments below and I will see you guys in the next video. All right, ciao.